right. Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Love and Deep Talk, the podcast where I talk deeply about love and deep space. So, I am here today because I figured I would make a little episode about some of the easiest and fastest ways to collect gems. Also, I was dumb and I left the window open because it's such a nice day and it gets hot sometimes in my room. And of course, someone lets their dog out, and this dog is ridiculous. So, if you hear the dog, I apologize. I can't control the dog. That's where we're at today. So, it's always dogs, you know? It's either a cat turning down the gain all the way on my freaking microphone and then no one can hear what the heck I'm saying, or it's a dog that just has so much to say that it needs to be a part of the episode. So, you know what? I'm just gonna roll with it. You know, it's not Love and Deep Talk if it's not botched. So, this is my brand. I'm just going with it. But anyway, so I was kind of inspired to do an episode kind of like this because of like a lot of friends who play kind of wanting to accrue gems quickly so that they could like pool for certain events. And you know how like the event releases go, where it's like we're constantly being hit with new event after new event, so sometimes it's a little rough, you know, trying to collect gems. And there are quick ways to do it, and then there's really slow ways to do it. So I'll mostly focus on the fast and easy ways, and then I'll kind of probably at the end, depending on how long the episode is, because you know how we do it here, I'll probably name some of the more like slow drip feed ways to get gems, and also let you know like which is the easiest and fastest, and then which is like less so. So I'll probably try to do them in order. I did kind of like write down a little bit of notes about like which are easiest and whatnot, and I'll go through why I think that they are easiest. But anyway, I guess let's get started. And also a quick thing is if you are listening on like your favorite podcast app, whichever one that may be, I will have like a video up on YouTube, which is basically the same audio, but it'll show you where all of the places are to get the gems. So if during this audio at any point I'm like, because I'm trying to get to the spot and my phone is being mean to me, I apologize. You know, it'll, you know, whatever. And you know, if you're already on YouTube and this is how you're listening and watching, then you're good to go. You'll know where all of this stuff is. But I guess with this kind of episode, even though like there's probably like some veteran players who are just kind of like, meh, I don't need this, then okay, sorry, I'm not as cool as you, I guess. or whatever. But there are a ton of like newbies who do kind of need an episode like this, so this is for you because I'm here for you. I am your lad's Nuna, I guess, or Ani. I be Ani, my bad. Unless I'm Nuna to you, you know, whatever. But anyway, so yeah, and then there's something else. Oh yes, I know that usually the audio in my freaking everything always sucks ass, so hopefully it won't be so bad this time, because sometimes the fan of like my computer gets picked up by the mic, which is crazy when I have noise canceling on. But whatever. And then the other thing is like my voice tends to peak, which is extremely annoying. So literally anytime I laugh, like my microphone just doesn't want me to be happy. So I'm just doing my best here. So hopefully the audio isn't botched, but if it is, it's my brand. It's a brand thing. And if you hear a lot of jingle jangles, those are my bracelets. So apologies. Anyway, let's continue on with the botched episode. Why not, right? So the first thing, it's really funny because on YouTube, I have not done my dailies yet. Forgive me. I am a working gal and it's hard. Sorry, Caleb, I will have to ignore your call right now. Sorry. But oh my goodness. And I was late to meeting Raphael. Jeez, I'm slacking, y'all. So anyway, the first thing that I am going to go over will be the easiest way to accrue red gems, and that's going to be listening to your memories. So again, on the YouTube video, you'll be able to see like exactly where this is, but I'll call the memory types out by name. So, you know, if you are a slightly more veteran player, like veteran to, you know, like not your first rodeo player. I was like, I don't know what word I want to use for that. You'll know what I'm talking about, but if you are very new to the game, it might benefit you to look at the YouTube video so that you know like where to go. But anyway, in date, select your man, whichever man, and then yeah, the easiest to listen to, which is going to be like the fastest way to accrue gems, is going to be the secret times. Those are like the ASMR memories. That is wild. Oh, I forgot. I'm on a different phone. So I'm seeing that some of these memories are not downloaded and I'm like false. But no, it's true. So anyway, after you have your ASMR memory downloaded, you can just like go through and just play the memory. So usually with the secret times and the tender moments being most of the 4 stars, you can kind of just let them play. And if you don't want to be spoiled, then just mute the memory. And then you can collect the gems. Of course, once you collect the red gems, that's it. That's one and done. You collected the red gems, that is it. So, you know, usually with this kind of stuff, I try to like space it out in like when I'm collecting them. Because for me, it's like I usually collect those gems just kind of whenever I watch them and like actually watch them. But if what you're going for is your strategy is like you are just trying to get the most gems possible in the shortest amount of time, literally go and do some chores. Just start off at like the first secret times or like the first one that you haven't listened to. Just let that bitch run, right? Go do your laundry, go do your dishes. Hell, while you listen to this, go do your laundry, go do your dishes, because you know, I like to talk a lot. There's so much to talk about with this game, right? So, yeah, like just go do that. And then by the time you come back, like you'll have a good bit of gems to collect. I'm pretty sure for the secret time memories, it's about 20 gems per secret time. And it doesn't seem like a lot, but after like 7, so technically like 6.5, so like 7 memories, you get 1 pool. And I know that doesn't sound like a lot, but all you're doing is listening to a memory. So, you know, it's not too bad. Like you're really not working that hard. Let's be honest. So, yeah. So that's kind of one strategy that you can do. Again, once you collect those gems, that's it. That's what you have. So you can either decide whether to just get them all now and be like, I'm just going to use them for whatever next event I want, especially if you don't pull a whole lot, or, you know, you can decide to save them for when an event comes around that you really do want to pull for, you know what I mean? So yeah, that's one strategy. That's pretty much it with the secret times. Like I said, if you don't want to be spoiled, just mute it. And this is like purely you're going for gem collection, right? Because you can listen to those memories whenever you want. So yeah. And then when it comes to the secret time, it's usually about in that last, maybe depending on how long the memory is, like 30 seconds to a minute or so, where then the gem pops. But again, like if you go do some chores, like you're doing other stuff anyway, so it doesn't really matter, you know what I mean? And then you come back and you collect it all, so good to go. All right, so that's pretty much with the secret times. And then I'm gonna choose a different guy just so that, you know, can have some variability in this. Who should I choose? Let's choose Alice. All right, so if you go to Tender Moments, I've pretty much watched all of his, which is really funny. I think there's maybe only one that I haven't watched. And again, like all of these are not like downloaded. There's literally one. I think Greedy Heart is the only 4-star of his that I have not seen. My gosh. I play this game a lot. So, yeah, like it's just so funny seeing that all of these are not downloaded, but I'm like, no, I've watched all of these like probably twice. So anyway, so kind of the same thing with this. So with the secret times, those are, I say that those are the easiest 4 stars to kind of just run through, because even if you do have the volume up, like sometimes like with the secret times, I will just be cleaning my room, working on something, doing my own thing, and I will have those on because there's literally nothing for me to read, right? So in the secret times, for those who don't know, it's like an ASMR based memory where anything that your MC would potentially do, the guy narrates. So there's literally nothing for you to read, which can be very nice. So for example, if like your MC moves something, whatever guy, like whose ever memory you're doing as like an example, would be like, oh, you put that over there, or like, oh, you put the package of candy over there, like that kind of thing, right? There's no like written narration that says, I put the packet of candy over on the counter and Caleb stares at me perplexed or something, you know what I mean? So they're really easy because if you do want to experience the memory like right then and there, you can, because you don't have to read anything, but you can still get something else done if you need to. And again, if you don't want to be spoiled, just mute it. I can't talk. So nothing new here, right? So anyway, I'm not going to do Greedy Heart because then I might be tempted to watch it, but yes, I have done Wild Gaze. Okay, you know what? I like Continuous Symphony, so I'm going to use that one as an example after it downloads. There we go. That was fast. So with this type of memory, so we're in Tender Moments right now. So with this type of 4-star, there is going to be stuff to read, because instead of the guy like narrating what MC is doing, like for example, like, oh wow, that went by fast, but there is some narration, or like MC might think something and you have to read that. It's not voice acted by whoever MC's voice actress is. So, you know, it's like, Silas, this can't be good. He probably wants to blah, 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 blah. I don't want to like spoil anything for you. So, you have to read that. And again, if you don't want something spoiled, just mute it, just let it run through and go and collect the gems later, right? Because they will just continuously autoplay, which is beautiful. So you can start at one of the memories, one of the 4-star Tender Moments, and you can just let that bitch run and it will just go through all of the memories. Just leave it alone. And then you can come back and you can collect your gems. This Tender Moments, I believe as well, are like 20 gems per memory that you watch. And again, it's the same thing. In order to get gems for it, it needs to have not been watched before, right? So Continuous Symphony, for example, I already watched that. It doesn't matter how many other times I'm going to watch it. I'm not going to be getting any more gems for it. And that is just the way it is. So, anyway, that is an example of that. For these memories, they kind of vary. Some of them can be like 3 or 4 minutes-ish long. And then others, I think there was like 1 or 2 of them that are like 20 minutes long or something. Which, hey, I'm not complaining. Give me as much content as you can give me. You know what I'm saying? However, you know, again, if you're just kind of going through somewhere and you're just like doing chores and you have it muted, or you're just kind of casually listening to it, or however you want to do it, like, then it doesn't really matter how long the memory is, right? But it's about, so if you look where there's like little notches, they're like a different color, so they're going to be like this orange reddish color. It's like orange. So that is usually, once that passes by, that's like the climax of the memory. Once that passes, then you'll be able to collect the gems, right? And again, it's going to be at a different point for most memories, because for some of them it's kind of at the 3/4 length, like the beginning of the 3/4 length, and then for others of them, I think there's a couple where it's like basically towards the end of the memory. So it just varies depending on the memory. It's usually towards the end, somewhere in there. But after that passes, that's when you'll be able to collect the gems, and there you go. That is it. Just let it do its thing. Also, if you don't want to spoil yourself, this could probably be a little boring, and then there's no autoplay feature. Like, you kind of got to let it run to do that. You could also just pause the memory and just hang out, chit chat with a friend or something, or whatever, read a book, and then look over and be like, ah, my gems are here. So if you don't want, like, again, you could mute it to avoid spoilers, but if you also just don't even want to risk it and you just want to pause it because you don't want to accidentally look over and spoil something for yourself, which I totally understand that. As someone who despises spoilers, I get it. So you can pause it. And then this memory, for example, is almost 9 minutes long. It's like literally 1 second from 9 minutes long. Just round it out in fold. So I'm sure there's someone out there who is so irked by that. But so this memory is basically 9 minutes long. So for example, you could like just pause it and then like wait. Like, I think it's like 7 to 8-ish minutes, and then your gem pops. And then you collect your gem, and then you just go to the next memory, right? It means that you have to do a little bit more, but, you know, then it'll mean that you more than most likely will not get spoiled at all, right? So that is another option. So that's the tender moments. Now, onward to, let's pick a new person. Let's pick Xavier's having an event right now. He's getting enough love. Who hasn't had like a solo event in like a fucking while? Caleb, right? I feel like he hasn't had a solo. Why do I feel like his last solo was like his birthday? That's like the last one that I remember. All right, let's do him. Anyway, poor guy. Oh, wait. Okay, we need to get out of By Your Side. So By Your Side is where a lot of the 4-star stuff is. That's where Secret Times and Tender Moments are. So we're going to go to Falling For You. And what's really funny is when I was making notes, this is how I guess anal I am. When I was making my notes, I couldn't remember. I was like, did they like do the title capitalization properly? This is how you know I work at a school, right? Or that like I have editor blood, because it was bothering me. Anyway, I'm happy to see that everything's all good. So we're gonna go to Caleb. So there's a few different spots in Falling For You. So there is the Bond, the Memoria, and then the Miss. So each give like a different amount of gems. So Bond is going to be like, you need to raise your affinity with that character in order to unlock this type of memory. So Caleb currently only has one. It's Rain's Embrace. I forget how many gems I got from that, but I'm pretty sure I could tell. Like, I could like double check. I want to say it was like 40, but I can't quite remember, because some of these, they have like different amounts of gems that you give. Like when you finish a myth, you get 100 gems afterwards, and like the title and stuff like that. Can I just hit recall and find out? Yes, I can. Ooh. All right. So let's see. So 20. All right. So we're at 80. Damn. Okay. So shit. Oh, no, wait, that's 60. My bad. I'm dumb. Okay. So 20, 40, 60. So you get 110 gems total, because the last one is 50. Nice. Did I say title or total? I was looking at the title thing. Okay, whatever. Wow, I can't talk. It's like, throughout the day, I feel like I can talk totally fine, and then the second you put me on a microphone, I'm like, ooh, gone. Okay, so all abilities gone. So anyway, so dang, from the Bond, you get a lot. Shit, I didn't know that. I kind of just read these things and then I just kind of collect the red gems and I'm like, ooh, thank you. Don't mind if I do. So, I don't want to start it. I need one that I already finished. Aha, Indulgent Scheme. Why not? I do have a little memory reaction video on that if you ever want to check it out. It's on the YouTube. I think it is actually on like podcast stuff too, but for some of the other like memory reaction things, I just kind of kept those to YouTube. Figured it was easier. Okay. So for this one, for example, so it's 20 and 20, so yeah, 40. I was pretty sure that for 5-star memories, or at least most 5-star memories, you get like 40 gems after completing it. And so for these, like what you can do is, oh, I don't have the hair bug on. I'm sorry. We can't watch his little his little thing of him teasing us, because if I don't have the hair hack on, I don't want to see it. So I'm not gonna lie. So anyway, the thing with like the 5 stars and the bonds is, if you don't have the time, the energy, the whatever, or don't want to get spoiled yet, you're like, I'm not ready to watch this yet. Totally fine. I get it. Listen, I work 40 hours a week. It sucks. So trust me, I get it. But that's why I feel like I've been so slow on watching new memories, and it drives me insane actually. So anyway, you can hit auto, and if you want to speed it up even more, they have the 1-time speed, so you can click that up to 12. So there's 1.2, 1.5, and then 2-time speed. So if you want it to just keep going, you can do that. Now, you might have to come back and check back here and there. It kind of just depends on the memory, because there are points in which sometimes you have to do specific actions. So if it's something where it's like, oh, you tap this chat bubble thing and, it just prompts MC to say something, not that there's a choice, but it's just like, hey, just tap this bubble to keep the convo going. The autoplay will just do that for you, right? When it's what's it called? If you just have to like tap him or like brush something out of his hair or whatever, again, auto will just do that for you. Sometimes I think it just takes a little bit of time. If it's something where you need to blow into your microphone, I think just let it sit there for a little bit, and I think it will eventually do it on its own. But I believe if a choice comes up where you can pick between 2 different things, then you have to actually start playing the memory. So just be warned about that. So if you come across that, and you're just like, no, I don't want to do that, you can pop out of the memory, and then if you reach certain checkpoints, then you will still get some gems. You might only get like 20 gems instead of 40, but you at least get something, right? So just be warned about that. But you can do like autoplay, right? Which is nice. So, and again, if you don't want to be spoiled, mute it. That's all you gotta do. All right, on to the myths. So the myths, oy vey, these take a long time, because the first 3 myths, so that would be like shooting stars. I was trying to say tower for Tower of Secrets, because I was thinking, what's the next one I want to say? So it was coming out like stores. But anyway, dear Lord. So shooting stars, Sea of Golden Sands, and then Tower of Secrets. Those all were like 43 to like 45, maximum 50 minutes. I'm pretty sure 45 is the max, really long. And now we're up to like 2 hours. I believe both of Caleb's are 2 hours. If not, Lucid Dream is literally like an hour and a half. But Decoherence is like 2 hours. It's crazy. So again, I get it. If you just don't have the time, but you need the gems, sometimes you just got to put that bitch on auto and just let it roll. And the thing is, though, is with myths, they are a little bit gatekept by leveling, which can be a problem. Like if you're going for just maximum gem collection versus time versus resources spent kind of thing, the myths might not be your best bet. There is a better way to get more gems, just because with the myths you have to get both of those companion memories to level 60 in order to unlock the whole myth. Yes, you would get 100 gems, but there is like a better way when it comes to leveling to try to get like more gems. And granted, when you like level these, you will still get like some red gems like throughout the process, but there's kind of like a better, faster way to kind of go through that, right? So anyway, that's pretty much it when it comes to memories, right? Oh, anecdotes. Like, anecdotes is another way where you can literally, like, just pick your person. Here, we'll pick you this time, Xavier, because I pretty much... Oh, wait, Zane. I haven't picked you yet. Ugh, evil. So you can literally just go into anecdotes and then just keep clicking next. I have done this, no shame. And then just go, 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 go. And then at the very end, when you're on the last page, you can collect the gems. I believe it was only, like, 10 gems. Trust me, it's been a while since I've done anecdotes, and I think I've read almost all of them, but I did collect like all the gems from them. But I'm pretty sure it's only like 10 gems per anecdote. But that's like 30 gems, like almost per guy, because Raphael, Xavier, and Zane are gonna have 3 anecdotes each, and then Caleb and Silas have 1 anecdote each. So not too bad. Let me see. Yeah, that's pretty much it for like the memory side of things. And like, of course, I'm not entirely going to talk about like dailies and weeklies. Those are pretty much like the godoy, like duh ways to get gems. And also it takes more time. So we're going for the most in the shortest amount of time. I'm looking for stuff that you could do today, like right now. I'm not like in the week, like today, right now. So, all right, let's see. The second easiest way that I would say, so the biggest reason I'll say is why I picked memories as like the easiest, like the number one easiest way to collect materials is because or to collect red gems is because it doesn't require materials. Like unless you're doing the mist, you really don't have to like level up these memories or like ascend anything. There are like some memories where you do, I think, have to get to like a certain affinity, like for bond, but as like a totally new player, because remember, I played this game basically when it came out. I played this game a month and a half after it came out. So there are certain things that are locked that I might not entirely know about if you like started playing this game like a week ago. You know what I mean? So when you collect particular memories, you can tap on them and it'll let you know if it'll allow you to watch them or not. If you like really just started this game super recently, Zane, Zane, Xavier, and Raphael. It's like 2 like Z sounds next to each other, and I was like, wait a minute. So Zane, Xavier, and Raphael are gonna have a lot of this stuff that you could probably access like right at the get-go. Because they were the 3 starting men, so makes sense, right? So anyway, yeah, like you don't necessarily require materials to like access them. They're not super like gate kept by stuff, except maybe a couple memories. And I mean it is kind of based on how many memories you do own on like collecting these gems. So but it is the easiest in terms of like the time commitment, because you don't necessarily have to commit your time if you're going to mute the memories anyway and then just go, you know, like go do some chores or something, you know what I mean? So there's that. The next thing that I'll talk about is some of the battles. So this would specifically be sorry, YouTube sees this, but I'm gonna let Raphael talk right now. Can't interrupt him. But anyway, so the next part would be going into some of the battles. So I am not going to talk about the Deepspace trials much because, again, I'm looking for fast and easiest that you can do right now. And the reason why I'm not going to go super big into the Deepspace trials is because takes a lot of materials to be able to get to some of these levels. I mean, it's kind of funny. So for those who are not on the YouTube video or who are just listening via YouTube and not like watching the video, totally fine. My open orbit is 190. Xavier's 140. Zane's 108. Raphael's totally maxed out at 210. Caleb used to be maxed out when it was at like 120 or something. Now I'm at 134 with him. And then Silas is 80 because I have 2 particular challenges set for Zane and Silas because I just want to prove a point about being able to clear these Deepspace trials with like just the free content. So I don't know why I did that because these are already challenging enough, but you know, I came up with a point and now I want to prove it. So here we are. So anyway, the thing is though, is like to get to some of these levels where you're actually accruing a lot of gems at one point where it feels like you're making a dent in terms of being able to pull, you are just going to have to power level someone. That's just how it is. Like me getting to 190 was literally me power leveling at the time God of Tides Raphael, and then power leveling later Caleb's second myth that, like, I call it the Evangelion myth because that's what it looks like, or like Serial Experiment Lane, if anyone is big into 90s anime. So yeah, like that's not fast and easy. Trust me. Oh my god, trust me. As someone who had to do all of that power leveling, this is not the route you want to go to if you just need these gems today. Okay? It's not happening. So that is something you are going to have to work up towards. So that's why I'm not really going to talk about Deepspace trials. They are a way to get gems. It can be a decent way to get gems. The best way, if you want to like really harvest gems, is to do power leveling, which is just you picking a man, you dumping all of your leveling resources into that guy and into his memories, and then just leveling up your protocourse as much as you can, picking out the most decent one that you have at the time, and then you just throw it all together and you just try to bulldoze those trials as much as you can. Okay? That's what I'm talking about when I say power leveling, and it takes a lot. Okay? So anyway, so instead, what I'm going to talk about is the unicorn operations and abyssal chaos. And also, I understand that with bounty hunt, yes, you can get gems from bounty hunts and stuff like that. It's for like when you first complete those battles. Again, there's a lot of other ways to earn gems, but I'm kind of going for the stuff that you can really harvest, like the big ticket stuff is what I'm pretty much going to go for. So I'll start with abyssal chaos. Unfortunately, I have totally leveled up this rewards chart. So they're called deduction rewards. So basically, as you play the like abyssal chaos like story and battles, etc., you will accrue experience points, which will then count towards this like rewards chart is what I'm going to call it. So this, you are capped to a certain amount of points like per like reset period, which I think the reset for this is every week and a half to 2 weeks off the top of my head. That's what I'm going to go with. And you get other stuff, like you might get some like silver magnets, some gold, some leveling stuff. You might get like some accessories. I think that there is an outfit in here too, but the biggest thing is the gems. So for example, how many gems is it? Let me see. My phone is kind of far away from me. Okay, so it's mostly 10 gems like per level, and then I think once you get into the higher levels, it becomes slightly more. Okay, yeah, so once you hit like level 20, you get like 20, not 20, 50 gems. And then it goes back to 10 per level. But, I mean, that's a, decent bit of gems. It really helps. And like, it's a good way to try to get like a decent clump of gems at one time. The other part of Abyssal Chaos is as you play through it, you will get like different codes for yourself, so your MC, and for the different companions, right? So as you kind of level up these like companions, you earn gems, right? So let me see. I was trying to see if it would tell me like how many gems I collected. I can't remember. I think it was maybe like 10 or 20, something like that. But yeah, so you will also accrue just more gems anyway, because of collecting items, codes, instances, so like different events that happen, and then endings. There's like, I think in the Finding Tobias, that's like 2 different endings per, like companion, like, or not companion, but per guy. And then you have Final Farewell. So I think that has its own, let me double check. I can't remember if that had its own level chart or like rewards chart, which I'm pretty sure it does. So let me just double check. It does. Okay. So you would have 2 different rewards charts in there. But yeah, so it's a good way to earn like a decent bit of gems. And here's the thing, if you're not super keen on the combat, I love the combat, so I can't relate, but I also know that as a working adult, it can be really hard to find the time, and that's okay. So you can put it on auto battle. I'm not sure with Abyssal Chaos because I never put it on auto battle. There might be a point where you there might be a point where like auto battle just doesn't cut it anymore and you might have to do the combat in order to pass the level. And that's just the way that it is. But for the most part, you can do most of this with auto battle, so you wouldn't really even have to do the fight. So that's nice. Let me see. And then with the difficulties, you would get like more rewards for like getting codes and stuff like that, or maybe not codes. It's like the what's it called? The like gene, like what do they call it? Hang on. The general genes and companion genes. So you might get like more rewards for that, which will help you get the gems for that a little faster. On Final Farewell, I don't recommend challenge mode. Like, is it Final Farewell that has that? I think so, because I think I remember, yes it does. I remember doing challenge mode and I was like, Jesus Christ. Like, I mean, I do the combat, I'm really high in the Deepspace trials, like kind of like how I just told you all my levels, and I was like, what is going on here? I feel like I cannot do this. So anyway, you will have like a weekly cap, I believe, in how many points you can earn for it and stuff like that. But you know, it's still like a quick way to get like a large amount of gems at one time. There is a cap, you know, you can't control that. So, you know, whatever. And then the next thing would be the unicorn operations. So again, this also has like a reward chart. So this, if you're watching the YouTube video, you can see I do not have all of the rewards. Why? Because for Abyssal Chaos and for both of the reward charts in Abyssal Chaos and for the unicorn operations, once you finish those rewards charts, that's it. It does not reset. I do not like that. If you've listened to or watched the like ideas episodes, I can't remember if it's in part 1 or part 2. I think maybe part 1. But like I say that I want this stuff reset because it's so many red gems that we could potentially earn, and again, it's capped, so it's kind of like we're being like drip fed this stuff, so it's not like, I don't know, it's gonna get too out of hand. Now maybe if they reset all of them now, then okay, maybe, sure, but like, can't we have it reset like once every couple months or something? That might be nice. Or really, I don't even know if it would take a couple months to like finish these, so like, I don't know, twice or thrice a year, that might be nice. So anyway, with this, I have been just kind of very slowly going through the unicorn operations, just so that I can always have like a little reserve of red gems that I can potentially tap into. And you know, it's kind of the same thing where like mostly per level it's 10 red gems, and then there's some levels where it's 50, and then when you finish it's 100. You also of course can get some other stuff, so like they have some deskwear, they have some like leveling items, they have some special wish tickets, which is very nice, couple outfits, like one for him, one for you kind of thing, some titles, so you know, you get some extra stuff too, but we're here for the red gems. But yeah, so that is another way, and it's the same thing with Abyssal Chaos where there's like items that you can collect. For this, there's like different like gear sets, so you can earn gems by finding and like equipping those different gear sets like as you play. I think I've pretty much found almost all of them. I think they're about like 10 gems each. I know for the items in both Abyssal Chaos and the unicorn operations, it's like 10 gems for each item, but you're getting like a couple items per run that you do of these, so you know, especially if you haven't like done Abyssal Chaos and unicorn missions yet, like you'll be accruing a decent bit of gems. It'll feel very good at first, but then the problem becomes is once you kind of max out those rewards charts, there's not really like a huge reason to do Abyssal Chaos and the unicorn hunts. Like there are still things that I have to collect in Abyssal Chaos However, I've collected so much that the probability of me getting the things that I still have to collect is very low, which is why I just don't do it. Do you know what I mean? Um, yeah. So it's just not worth it because I'm like, okay, I'd be spending a lot of my time trying to get the stuff that like I don't have yet. And there's only like a couple things that I don't have yet. So that's gonna take forever. And same thing with Abyssal Chaos, you can put it on auto battle. In order to select stuff though, you kind of have to be semi in on these two versions of battles, so Abyssal Chaos and the Unicorn operations, because you have to like choose certain things. You have to choose like what items, you have to choose what codes, like, do you know what I mean? You have to choose what pathway you take, stuff like that. Sometimes I just kind of like blaze through the story because you can go back and reread the story without having to do the battles, which is very, very nice. Because for someone who is as busy as me, sometimes I just cannot like spend the time reading everything right then and there. So the one really nice thing about Love and Deep Space is that it pretty much pretty much like keeps everything like documented for the most part. Which reminds me that I totally forgot to record all of Raphael's birthday stuff, like all the little mini stories, and now I'm sad. So cool. Anyway, so that sucks. Because usually I record those because those are like the one thing that they don't document. So I am praying that someone uploaded on YouTube like them playing the whole event and that they like went through the stories so that I can document them myself. Because I didn't get to read a couple of them because I was so busy. Because for those who don't know, I also work a second job. So why I also do a podcast, I don't know. Must be because I love you all so much in this silly little game. So anyway, so the biggest thing why I put like the unicorn and then abyssal stuff as the like second easiest way to accrue gems is you do get like a good bit of gems from it, but you're also again not putting in too much, right? Like yes, sometimes you might have to actually do a battle versus auto battle. Yes, sometimes you have to like pick stuff, right? To be like, okay, yes, I'm going to pick this item or whatever. But you don't really have to level up your memories for this. It just takes time and you can do the auto battle. But yeah, like you're not really having to put in so much as I think it's the next, as like the next two ways to get gems. These ones are a little bit more involved, but they are good ways to get gems. So yeah, I think unicorn and abyssal are pretty good ways, especially if you use the companion like that. Basically every time that the points that you could accrue towards the rewards chart, every time that resets, they have a new like trial companion is what they call it. So even if you don't have that companion, you can try them out in battle this way, like either in unicorn or abyssal. And of course they'll have like 3 different trial companions because they'll have one for Finding Tobias. This is for Abyssal Chaos. Finding Tobias, Final Farewell, and then on the unicorn side they'll have like a different companion on trial. So yeah, so pretty easy. Now the next thing, oh boy. So this is going to be something where it's like, how many leveling resources do you have on you right now, right? Because this one is going to be going through all of your memories and leveling them up to at least 20. And sorry, YouTubers, it's taking me a little bit to find some of those. Oh, look, here, we have some at level 1. Wonderful. So basically, right, you want to go onto whatever memory that's like level 1, or lower, and you are just gonna, yes, I don't need green for the signal of interest. I have been saving all of my resources. So, but yeah, you just want to keep upgrading and then you hit 10, ascend once, woohoo, got some affinity, very nice, and then upgrade again, level 20, you don't get anything for 10, so for leveling up to 10 and then ascending, besides affinity, and then ascend one more time, boom, all right, nice, now we can get up to 30 if we want, but do not, remember, we are going for least amount of input, maximum output, right? So you are going to hit that little present box up at the top right corner that's kind of like shifting around, dancing around, and you are going to collect your gems. So once you hit level 20 and then you ascend it, so for this 5-star, I got 50 gems from doing that, right? Now, I don't know, I was going to check, but then I like totally forgot, and now I'm just lazy, I guess. I don't know if like, I would assume yes, but I don't know if for a 3-star, a 4-star, and a 5-star, if it's like a different amount of the wish bottles that you need. I'm pretty sure for the crystals, like those little crystal shards, it is a lesser amount for the lesser grade memories, right? But yeah, so that's literally it. And then for the 5-star, like I got 50 I got like 50 red gems. Let me check for a 4-star. Let me see, 20. It would be 30 red gems, not so bad. And then let me check on the 3-stars. Come on. I know I have a lot of memories, but please, just give me a 3-star. Dang, I do have a lot of ones. This is going to be wonderful. Because a lot of the times what I do is, so like the first time I did this, I had so many memories. I got so many red gems from doing this, right? And again, it just depends on how many leveling resources you have, right? Which that is the tricky part. That's why I said that this is still easy and you can still get a lot of red gems, but there's a little bit of a hiccup. But let's see. So that's for 50. So for 20, so for a 3-star, it's 20 red gems. That's really not that bad. So it's either going to be 20, 30, or 50, right? And then the reason why you want to just go up to 20 is because once you hit 40, you'll get like more red gems, at least for this 3-star. But I think for 5-stars, let me see if I can find a 5-star. Let me look at a 4-star real quick. No, I don't want to look at the pair right now. Okay, so 20. So when you get to 40 on like a 4-star, you get a blue wish ticket. So it won't be until I think 60. Let me check. Yeah, or 50. It won't be until 50 where you would get red gems again, right? Do you really want to go up to 50 instead of just going to a different memory and doing 20, like leveling up to 20 on there? Because leveling up towards 20 is going to take a lot less resources than leveling up to 50, right? So this is how you can input the least amount of resources but getting like maximum output of gems, right? And then let me go to a 5-star just to like double check that. It's just taking a while. There we go. Got a lot of memories, but I'm just very memorable, I guess. Anyway, so yeah, level 20 is the 50 gems. Level 40 would be the blue wish ticket. And listen, blue wish ticket is going to be fine for when the 6th love interest comes around, but you don't need that right now. That's not what we're going for right now. Okay. So yes, that is another way that's really good in terms of, I'm going back to battle, by the way, because our last stop is here. But anyway, so, that way is really, really good. It's just dependent on how many materials you have. So I actually will talk about a little bit how I usually, let me like do my dailies while I kind of talk about this. So it's just dependent on how many materials you have, right? So like if you don't have a ton of wish bottles, you're obviously not going to be able to level up a lot of memories to 20, right? So, or if you don't have enough crystals, again, you can't really be ascending stuff, right? So what I usually do, I do get the Oran Pass. Highly recommend. If you are totally free to play, I get it. You can't get it. It's, and then for those who are maybe like little minnows or porpoises, like how I was, now I feel like I have ascended to a killer whale, at least. Like, I might not be a whale, but I'm definitely more whale adjacent. I'm like a variety of a whale. I'm not a blue whale. I'm not even a right whale. Slightly more like a killer whale, right? Before, I was a porpoise. Where it was like where I was like, I do spend, but not a ton. But now yeah, that's over. So anyway, so basically, um, I have the Orem Pass, so that's like $5 a month. I highly recommend it because if you don't have it for your dailies, you would only be getting 50 gems a day if you're doing your dailies. But if you have the Orem Pass, it adds on another 100 red gems, and all you have to do is check in to get that 100 red gems. So yeah, highly recommend it. And then I, of course, was here during the time period of the anniversary like bundles that they had. I got all 3 of them. I think in total it amounted to like 25 or 30 bucks, something like that. But yeah, so for the rest of the year, every week, these are the rewards that I get, which is 190 red gems, protocore crate, 1 special wish ticket, and then 200 stamina, and then some like protocore leveling stuff. So that is very nice. Just getting weekly free pack things. So of course, like in terms of stuff like the kind of like daily stuff, this is kind of like where you would be accruing red gems like slowly, but it's still important, is like getting your weekly like store pack, doing your dailies, doing your weeklies. If you have the Orem Pass, check in and get all that. I forgot that today is Monday, so I have to get all of this stuff. It's kind of funny because everyone on YouTube is just going to be seeing the ridiculous amount of resources that I have, because I've been saving a lot for the 6 love interests. I mean, like right now, I have 766 blue tickets. Well, hey. But yeah, so I do have a lot of resources. A lot of that is because I save a ton. Like before, I would save for a while and then I would power level, right? And that's kind of like how I got as far as I did with the Deepspace trials. But recently, I haven't been doing any of that because I've just been saving everything for when the 6 love interest comes out. Because even with like 300 to 400 blue tickets, like if you've been saving, you'll be able to get all of his permanent memories for free. Like at least one of each, and then a couple ranks on some of them, right? You will not have to spend a dime. Now for the event, his event memory, like you may or may not have to spend, because that's like a totally different like wish currency, right? But whatever. But hey, with these tactics, maybe you won't. Just depends on if you have some memories left to run through or whatever, you know what I mean? All right, what was the next thing that I wanted to do? But yeah, so basically, oh man, oh sorry, let's do it this way. There's like other small ways that you can get red gems, which would be like in the whole like magnet thing, you know, if you share, you get like 10 red gems, or like if you watch the trailer for the new Wish, you get 10 red gems kind of thing, right? So that's another way to that. But again, that's like a small drip feed. It just resets every week, but you know, every little bit helps, but not for the purpose of this episode, right? I want to get you the most gems possible. So oh wait, I need to give stamina. Okay, so the biggest things that I do, right, is of course with my dailies, I try to get as much stamina as possible. So that would be the gifting stamina to all your buddies. And then it would also be like I have the Orem Pass, so I get stamina from that. I got like more weekly stamina today because I have the anniversary packs. So those ones you might not be able to do. The daily thing will sometimes give you stamina, not all the time. Yeah, so there might be some things where you may or may not get stamina, but definitely gifting stamina to your friends, you will get stamina that way. Then, let me just collect my, oh yes, the supply. Give me that, thank you. Oh yes, we get to talk about stamina bottles. Ah, so exciting. So anyway, if you really want to do well with the the like resources use part, so leveling up to level 20 for all this stuff. I think the way I did it was I kind of went in, so you'll need gold. I have so much. Honestly, me just doing like gold dailies, and this is dependent on where you are right now, because if I wanted to power level stuff right now, I would be good, right? But that's because every day for my dailies, I've been doing one gold battle, and then a couple like wish bottles battles, and then I also only level up a memory one level a day, because I'm not going into power leveling yet, and leveling up that one memory, that one level, is enough for me to hit the daily. That's all I'm going for right now until the sixth love interest comes out, or until I feel like power leveling someone, because I'm just holding out for this new guy, okay? I just want to be able to get all of his stuff, power level him, and then destroy his Deepspace trials. That's my goal. So anyway, so I might do a couple of those depending on where my stamina is. Right now it's like 412. So then in terms of like doing the leveling stuff, maybe prioritize like 2 crystals, like types. So maybe like red and blue, or yellow and gray, or pink and purple. I think for me, I mostly did pink and purple first because Raphael, because I was also power leveling him anyway. So pick your favorite, power level them, level up all their stuff to at least 20, and then just as much stamina as you have, just go hard on that crystal. I don't need to, because my crystals are ridiculous right now. I mean, in blue, I have over 9k, a little over 9k of the little tiny ones, and 6k of red. You should see my yellow. Let me tell you. My green, the tiny ones of green, 20k. Same thing, like 20.3k for the yellow little ones. Like, I'm good, okay? I don't need to do that. So I'm going to spend all of mine on experience instead. So I'm just going to keep going, just keep tapping. And then what I do is, like, once I get to the end, I always check my stamina, my energy drinks at the end. Because if I'm getting close, like I have some that's at like 6 days, I just use them all. Just go for it. Because if you don't use them, they get turned into gold. And you just lost a ton of resources. So especially if you want to do the strategy of leveling up everything to level 20 at least to collect your gems, absolutely be using those. There was one point where even the ones that you get to keep forever because you get them from like check-ins and like weeklies and stuff like that, oh my gosh, there was a point where I was totally emptied out because I was power leveling and then doing the level 20 thing. Feel free to do that. They are there for that. So yeah, at this rate, I'm just going to keep collecting experience, because I think I'm at that point now where I don't need to be collecting crystals anymore, because I'm pretty sure I'm at the point where I could pretty much get almost all of his stuff to 80. And then if I can't, I have the chest. So you will have crates if you go into your hunter profile and then you go into your inventory. You will have, okay, YouTubers will be able to see this. Sorry, podcasters. But you will have Ascension crystal boxes and crates. So if you need to dip into those, you need to dip into them. And then what's nice is you can choose whatever crystal you need, right? I accidentally tapped that. Okay, good. It didn't register. So, yes. Anyway. So, moving on. Oh. Sorry, I'm just collecting like all of my stuff. We'll talk about the promise later. And stuff like that. And I'll go back to the Warm Pass at some point too. Alright. Jeez Louise. Okay. Sorry I did not do my dailies and stuff beforehand. I just didn't. Okay. So, that's pretty much it for the leveling stuff. Okay. Sorry that was so long, but it is a lot more involved. Now, if you want to do this last way to get gems, I recommend you do it now anyway, okay? However, you leveling stuff up and potentially, and well, actually, definitely power leveling is going to be essential. I'm sorry to be the bearer of bad news, but I did not make this game. Do not shoot the messenger. I would like to live, kind of, so I would like to live so that I can freaking know what the next event is, okay? All right, that's about it. Anyway, so go to battle. I'm sorry, some of you are gonna hate me for this, okay? I did not make this game. I'm sorry. Go to Hunter Contest. I'm sure someone groaned. I'm sure someone groaned. Okay, let's talk about Hunter Contest. This resets every 2 weeks. Do not be like me, past me, who was too dumb. And so basically, because this resets about every 2 weeks, I did not fucking know. Like, I did the Hunter Contest, and then it was like, okay, so is this just it? Like, that's it? Like, I just do these battles, and that's it? I just earn these 600 gems? Because at that point, I was at the senior contest, and I was like, and then I just can't do it anymore? Well, like, why would I do that? I did not realize that it resets. The amount of gems I lost is criminal. So anyway, so there is like a little rewards chart. So this is based on the stars that you collect. The way that you get these stars is by hitting particular criteria. Typically, that criteria is finishing the battle to get the 3 stars with 1 minute and 30 seconds left to spare. You can only imagine how difficult that can be. It is a true DPS check, okay? So it can be really frustrating. So the reason why I say you should still do it anyway is because any red gems is better than no red gems, and it resets anyway, so why not take the red gems that you can earn? You know what I'm saying? So anyway, it can be frustrating. Don't worry. It's, I'm here to guide, okay? Don't worry. You'll be able to do it with me by your side. Kind of. I'm kind of by your side in spirit. So the first stage is primary Hunter Contest. These are going to be so easy, right? Sorry, I had to cough. Anyway, these are going to be so easy, okay? You will be fine. You will be able to do this. As long as you're at least kind of somewhat like leveled up, you'll be okay. Junior Contest. These are pretty easy too. So again, whatever. They do have their own rewards charts. I think maximum red gems in junior is 280, and I forget in primary. And primary is 210. Doesn't really seem a lot, right? So in senior, your max is going to be 600. That's 600 red gems every 2 weeks, if you can get all the 600. But even if you can only get like 300, that's still 600 gems a month that you otherwise would not have had, right? So the biggest thing with the senior hunt contest is, yeah, you're going to want to make sure that your memories are leveled up. Let me check what like level is usually recommended. Brother, can you just tell me what level are you? 85? Okay, here's the thing. You can kind of cheese some fights. So what do you think I did during Deepspace trials? I cheesed the fuck out of those. So and by cheese I mean like I did not follow all of their criteria, but I still won the battle by just being OP. Overpowered. So anyway, basically, right, is your protocors are going to be your best friends here. So you are definitely going to want to have some of those leveled up. This is why this is like, I put this in the tier of fastest and easiest because it kind of depends on where you are right now. Because if you are like me and you have like a good bit of your stuff already leveled up, this is going to be relatively fast and easy for you. I'm at the point right now where like I can get the 600 gems every time. It's more like, can I get the 36 stars every time, like the total number of stars. And it pains me that before the reset happened, I didn't get that last star. 35 happens to me so often and it drives me insane. So, and they made the senior hunt contest harder. Why did they make it harder? It was already hard enough. They didn't need to do that. They didn't need to do it. Especially when I started getting to the 36 point, I was like, y'all are some motherfuckers. Oh my god. But anyway, so, basically, where should your, like, cards be? Okay, so if you're gonna follow the Stellacrellums, I know I did not pronounce that right. Welcome to the podcast. So, so if you were gonna follow the Stellacrellums, so currently, for the YouTuber, for the listeners, okay, not the watchers, the listeners. Circuit C is purple red, Circuit B is green yellow, and then Circuit A, this is like my senior hunt contest, because oh my god, the amount of like memories that I have just powered up for these crystals is stupid. And then circuit A is purple pink, right? So this is going to be Raphael. This is great. And honestly, okay, when I first started doing the senior hunt contest, because remember, I power level Raphael. So basically what I did was I just picked one guy, which of course was my favorite, and I was like, I'm dumping everything into you. Okay? Okay. And it was beautiful because I would have to stretch him so thin where initially I was able to get him to do 2 circuits, mostly because he only had 2 myths at the time, but I was able to get him to do 2 circuits, and then that's when I started kind of leveling up Xavier so I could have someone for the 3rd circuit. Even if the crystals didn't match, I would just try to get as much as I could, right? And as far as I could, right? You might be at that stage, and that is okay. I was in that stage for months. Do not be bothered. This is senior hunt contest is something to get to the 36 you work up towards. And again, it just depends on how much leveling stuff you have. It depends on if you decided to power level versus like kind of spread out your leveling. You know what I mean? And protocors. Oh my god. I have to redo my protocors to like make sure that I have the best ones. It's crazy. I found some like mid-tier protocors in my lineup and I was like, where the fuck did you come from? I thought I got rid of you, but apparently I didn't. So anyway, so yes, senior hunt contest. I put this in here because yes, every 2 weeks you can get 600 red gems if you can get up to the point where you can get 600 red gems. So anywhere between like, what's the least amount? 60? 50. Okay. So the least amount is 50. So that's 1/3 of a pool. So say you only get like 9 stars. You still got 1 pool. Right? And then this resets every 2 weeks. So you could get anywhere from 50 to 600 red gems. And then you just wait 2 more weeks. And then it's another 50 to 600 red gems. And if you want to save all of your red gems, even better. So yeah. It's just one of those things where it's like you have to be leveled up if you're in senior hunt contest. If you're in primary and junior, they only let you do those one time, and then it's only senior that resets. It's criminal, but it is what it is right now. So yeah, again, this is why I was like, it's very, very worth it to talk about this, but with the stipulation of like, hey, you might only make it halfway. Right? And that's okay because that's still 300 more red gems than you had. That's still 2 more pools than you had. Those 2 more pools might get you to the 10 pool, right? Versus if you didn't do it. So even if you're not going to get very far, just do it. Just fucking do it, right? Oh, what are you losing out on? Some time? A little bit of pride? Swallow your pride. You don't need it. So, not in this game. So anyway, but yeah, so that's why I was like, it's very worth it to talk about this. And like, and again, because I was at the point where I was like, I didn't know about senior hunt contest. That was the one thing that I probably understood the least about. And I lost out on a lot of red gems about it, for it. And because of that. So I'm not going to let you make the same mistake that I made because I want you to be better than me. Remember, I am your uni/nuna, so I'm here for you. But yeah, so anyway, that's pretty much it in terms of like the swiftest and fastest ways to like recap. The best way is to just listen to memories, so that's going to be all of your like secret times, tender moments, the memoria, so that's going to be because like the new promise memories go into memoria. They function similar to 5 stars and similar to 4 stars. If you've watched one, you know what I'm talking about. But again, you could put those on auto. You can put the 5 stars on auto. Maybe check back here and there for the 5 star. If you don't want to be spoiled, mute it. Or for tender moments, pause it, and then the timer will go off and you can collect your gem. So yeah, and then not a whole lot of like resource input for that one in terms of like time or you having to pay attention or whatever, right? That's the easiest one. And then next after that would be the Unicorn and Abyssal Chaos. Again, you are capped. You are not capped for memories. You could just blow through all those suckers, collect all the gems, but remember, it's a one-time deal. So, do that how you want to. Be smart. I don't know if I'll do an episode about like the best tips for gotcha or something. I don't know. I feel like everyone kind of knows the tips at this point, and then like so many YouTubers have like in general made like gotcha tips. So I'm just kind of like, do I really need to? I don't know. But anyway, continuing on. So, yeah. So easiest would be listening to memories. Second easiest would be the Unicorn and Abyssal Chaos. Remember that you do have a cap and that it resets. So, just check that out. And then kind of plan from there. But, if you kind of do like some leveling and then, maybe in the kind of 2-week period of like a multi happening, you'll be able to, I believe, get 2 Unicorn and Abyssal Chaos off. So you should be okay. But that would be like a decent way to get some gems. The next one, so the third easiest, so like still easy, but kind of dependent on your situation, is going to be leveling up memories. Again, dependent on the resources that you have, but use your stamina. Like collect your stamina from like if you have Orm Pass or giving it to your friends as part of your dailies. Use that, get your supply from like the different points in the day, so like noon and then around like 6 p.m. or so. Get all that, and then what's it called? Use your energy drinks, and then just kind of choose what you're going to use your like stamina on, dependent on what you need, right? So you're gonna have to make those decisions for yourself. Sorry about that. So, and then the last thing would be the senior hunt contest, which that one is, you can still get a lot of gems, but it is going to be a little harder compared to the other one. So, but still do it anyway. God damn it, still do it anyway. If there is one thing that I want you to take away from this, is still do the senior hunt contest anyway. It's still a way to get red gems. It's like one of the only things that resets. Fucking do it. Please, I'm begging you. Thank you. Anyway, moving on. So this is going to be very, very short. There is a couple ways of also getting some red gems, but these are like kind of a slow drip feed form. But if you're newer, it might happen a little bit more than you thought. Like you might be getting more red gems because the like goals, so like for example, one is like plushie collection. The goals are like smaller for you because you just started the game. So one way, like I kind of mentioned, is the plushies. So if you go to playtime under date, you can pick a guy, and then you can go into the claw machine. So, and you can see what kind of plushies you get. There is like a little tab to the left that says current, so you can see which ones you have, you can see which ones you still need to collect. But basically, for every some odd amount of plushies, like I think when you first start, it's like you get some red gems, maybe like 10 or 20, when you collect like 5 different plushies, and then it becomes 10, and then it becomes 15, and then 20. So you can only imagine where I am right now. And then the other thing would be kitty cards. So if you go into the kitty counter, and look at this, I've collected all the packs, it's awful. So once you collect all of the meow badges, you can get red gems from that. You would collect these by going to the desk for with him, and then you go to collection down at the bottom on the right hand corner. It's not in the right hand corner, but you'll see it when you get there. And then you would go to fun collection. Holy shit, I have to get 140 different types of plushies to get my red gems. Jesus, 30 red gems for that. What the hell? Oh my god. What the hell? Okay, anyway. So then, with the like meow badges, once you get all 9 of them, then you would get red gems for that. Don't remember how many, sorry. I think it's maybe like 40, 50, something like that. And then there are some that are like timed, like they're like special event ones, so they're kind of there when they're there, and then they go away, so it sucks, but it is what it is. So that is one way to like slowly get them, because again, it's like each time, especially for the plushies that you get some, like they keep adding like a higher like goalpost, right? So stinky. And then of course dailies, weeklies, Orum Pass, again, kind of like how I said before. Listen, if you like are able to and want to, like if you do want to spend money on this game or whatever, the best thing to spend money on would be the Orum Pass. Promise is like another thing, I'll get into that in a second, but if you want to spend the least amount of money but gain the most benefits, I would say is Orum Pass, because again, you just do it if you are good about checking in daily, right? Please do not do it if you log in half the time, only because I don't want you to waste your money. Like I get it, $5 is $5, but like for some people, like $5 means a lot more than to other people. Do you know what I'm saying? So, you know, and it's your money. Make your choice. I'm just saying. So, yeah, like with the Orum Pass, it's basically like every day you come in and you check in, you get 100 more diamonds, like red gems for that day, right? Which is wonderful, because if you do your dailies and you collect the Orum Pass, you're getting one pull a day. So in a month, if you don't pull for anything, you have 3 10 pulls after just spending $5. And if you've seen some of the packs, like during the events, you'll understand how big that is, especially if you don't pull for like a couple months, right? So it's definitely worth it, like once you kind of do the math. And then you do get more stamina, so it does help with like resource collection. And then immediately you would get the 300 purple gems, which is nice if you, because like for example, if you only do like a couple months of the Orum Pass, like you'll be able to get, oh, here we are, you'll be able to get like a decent bit of stuff. Like I think after like what, like 3-4 months of the Orum Pass, you could be a towel haver. And that's what really matters, you know what I'm saying? So, and then in combat, it's like you do literally like 2 months of the Orum Pass, then you can get one of the like MC companion outfits for the myths and still have some purple gems left over. So it really isn't too bad. Oh, look, on YouTube, y'all get to see how insane I am with getting all of these. Oh my. But I feel like anytime I do these videos, I just out myself so bad. So then, yeah, I highly recommend Orum Pass, because again, it's like, it's definitely like the cheapest thing in this game that you could really get, unless you kind of do those like little sale packs and you're just kind of like, oh, I just want like 110 pull or something for this event. Okay, cool. If you're like totally free to play, this doesn't really apply to you. Sorry about that. But I make videos for all. So, you know, just, I don't know, make yourself a little snack during this part. So, but yeah, and then if you're willing to spend like a little bit, like that is going to be the best bang for your buck. So yes, I was very happy when I found out about Orum Pass, because I was like, oh shit, yeah, of course I'll do this. So now moving on to the promise. So Orum Pass is definitely the best bang for your buck, because it's like $5 and you get so much with it. The next thing would be the promise. I do get the promise basically every time. There's only been one promise I didn't get, and it was mostly because I just didn't really feel like I needed it. But then when you go into like all the stuff that you actually get with the promise, I was like, oh dang, maybe I should have. But so with the promise, so for all the free to play, you still get stuff for free. It's just not as much stuff. Go figure. So for those like watching, on the left side is the free promise. So for example, let's go into, okay, so for the free promise, you might get 1 Empyrean wish, which is the blue wish. It's the permanent wish. And then on the right side, if you pay for the pass, which is kind of basically like their battle pass, usually lasts about 55 days. It's like 54, 55 days. So about like a month and a half, right? So that's not too awful. It's not every month. So about a month and a half, you'll get a new promise. So if you pay for the promise, when just free people are getting, which is totally fine, are getting the permanent wish ticket, you are getting the permanent wish ticket and the special wish ticket, right? So very helpful when pulling for events. So this isn't getting like red gems. This is mostly like getting resources to then get red gems, and then also like getting some like wish tickets, right? Which is as good as a red gem. So anyway, but yeah, so on your own time, go into the promise and check out everything that you can get. You of course also get other memories with it. There are 2 paid like I don't want to say packs, but there's 2 paid versions of the promise. So we're going to go into that. So the secret promise, that one is $10, right? So that one, currently how they do it is, because this is different from when the game first came out, is you get the the first like color of whatever accessory that they have, because every promise it changes. So like what was the last promise? Last promise, it was the goddamn fucking scarves that the guys just wear all the time. Every time I come into my house, every time I come into the cafe, they are in a goddamn scarf. So anyway, I had to freak out about that. I'm sorry. So it's every time. It drives me crazy. So yes, you would still get like all of the you would still get basically all of the like resource stuff, right? If you pay the $10. Okay. So if you do the heartfelt vow version, which is $15, so just an extra $5, then you would get the 2 other colors of whatever accessory they're doing. So currently it's like the black beanie, and then if you did the $15 version, you would get the black beanie, the white beanie, and the pink beanie. And then you would also gain 20 levels in the promise. Oh dang, I didn't know that I would get 10 permanent wish tickets. That's crazy. Just because I'm like, I have so many that when I do gain them sometimes I'm like, did I? Okay, vibes. And then you get the title, and then you get both of those 4-star memories. So currently there's one for Zane, and then there's one for Silas. So if you do the $10, you do get all those resource packs. You get the black beanie, so you get like the one version of that accessory, and then you get to pick Silas or Zane. And that goes for like every other promise. It's like you get to pick that guy or the other guy, right? Whereas if you do the 15 one, you get literally everything. So and that's like every month and a half. So I do it because I'm like, that really isn't so bad, and it's nice to get like more of the wishes and then more of the memories, because again, I could listen to that memory and get the gems, and I could level both of these memories up to 20 and I can get the gems for those. I think there was like one time with the past, this was before they did the multiple versions of accessories, so it was literally just one accessory, and I think that was when, or no, maybe it was when I had the choice between 10 and 15, because there was one time where I did just the 10 and not the 15. I can't remember. But I feel like they brought out the 15 at the same time that they did the extra colors of accessories. I don't remember. It's not that big of a deal. Anyway, but yeah. So again, if you have money to throw at the game and you would like to, like for me, this is like the game that I play right now. So that is one of the reasons why I throw money at it. Then go for it. If you can't and you don't, that's totally fine. It's your game. You get to play it how you want. As long as you play it in a way that isn't shitty towards other people, then I support you. If you play in a way that is shitty towards other people, uninstall. So there you go. Anyway, for new players and, for vets and stuff like that. Oh, Raphael, I'm sorry I cut you off. My king. So anyway, if either you are new or you need a refresher, you can always check out your achievements as well. This is another way to get gems. But similar to the plushies, they keep moving the goalpost, and it is hard out here, okay? So you would go basically into your hunter profile. Sorry, I forgot that I have podcasters who are just listening. So go into your profile, and then at the very bottom, it's pretty much right in the middle. It just looks like a little ribbon with a star in it. Click that. That will be your achievements. My one friend consistently forgets to check their achievements. So if you're listening right now, friend, check your achievements. But you get every time you kind of hit that goalpost, you get I think it's consistent where it's 100 red gems the whole time, and you might get like a couple other things. And then there are some achievements that you can do where you get red gems anyway. So let me find a couple. Okay, so like collect 120 stars in open orbit fluctuant. So that's the red version of like open orbit. I'm only on like level 40 on that one because that one is rough. So that's like 50 gems. So by doing different achievements, you can get gems. You know what I mean? Complete 11 trainings in the training room. That one really isn't too bad. I'm 9 out of 11 on that. I could just totally destroy that right now. And I get a title, A+ student, very nice. And I get 30 red gems for doing that. So that's another way. Of course, this might take longer because you have to do different things to achieve those red gems, right? So it's going to change depending on the challenge. And some of them you might be able to do now, some of them you might not be able to do. That's fine, whatever. And when you are new to the game, you're going to be hitting these a lot faster and a lot more compared to someone like me, who I literally, to get to my 100 gems, I have to do 260 objectives. I'm at 254 right now. It hurts. It hurts out here, okay? But yeah, so anyway, yeah, and then the other one, again, this is kind of one of those things where it's like, in the beginning, it's going to be pretty easy, but then steadily the goalpost gets moved, or steadily, you know, it becomes harder and harder because you've already collected so many of these things, or whatever it is, like your house collection. So if you go into the house and you do certain things and you check out the achievements there, and then you do the, it's like the house settlement. If you do those kinds of goals, you'll get red gems for that. But these ways to get red gems are not nearly as fast as the first like 4 ways that I told you about, that I spent basically the entire episode on, right? So I would suggest those 4, and then these are kind of things that you can kind of do in between, right? Or like that might just kind of happen to you, like the plushie thing and the meow badges. That's going to happen to you because I hope you're getting your chocolates. All right, you want to get those nice little outfits, you better be doing your chocolates, okay? So you know what I'm saying. But yeah, so they're like ways to get red gems, but they're just not as fast as others. So anyway, that's pretty much it for this episode. Raphael, please say goodbye to them. I was a bit irritated, but I feel much better after seeing you. Well, you know, that's as good as it's gonna get, I guess, for all of you. So not so bad, you know. But yeah, anyway, I guess to send out the everyone who's watching, and again, if you want to watch, just go on YouTube. It's still loving DeepTalk, so you know, I'm easy to find. But wait, where did it go? I wanted the heart. Okay, there we go. But anyway, I'll send you all out with a little heart. Please believe me, I'm making a little cheek heart with my hand for all of you. You're just gonna have to believe me. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this episode. I hope it was informational for you. I am trying very hard to do my best to make more episodes, put out more episodes. I would like to do more like memory-based episodes. I've just been so busy, so burnt out from just being an adult and life, and it just feels so hard to have time to sit down and actually like analyze some of these memories and stuff. So we're gonna see how that goes. But regardless, I hope you all enjoyed this episode. I hope it helped you. If you're on YouTube, please comment if it helped you, because, or if you learned something, because it's just nice to hear from people. Do you know what I mean? But yeah, so thank you all for listening. I hope you enjoyed. I hope you got some stuff done while you listen to me yap away. I hope your laundry got done. I know mine's done. I gotta go, you know, switch that out. And yeah, and get your dailies done, get your weeklies done. Do all of these little red gem tips so that you can pull for your man in the next one. Good luck, Hunter. Happy hunting.